started, we did not expect MOUs should be signed. Because our expectations were very low. We thought this would be purely exploratory. Just put the word out, get Utah on the radar of Indian, canvas, political, corporate guys. But what happened was something very different. I think each meeting there was substantial interest from both sides, and whether it's coverage of World Trade Center, CII, IMC. I think in every forum there is a lot of curiosity about what's happening in Utah. There's something new, and this goes back to my premise of Indian industry is mainly looking at bigger states in US. They're missing out on the emerging opportunities. And speaking to that, Kavach coming forward to sign the MOU, I think means a lot because they're seeing a big opportunity. And they want to work with World Trade Center. They want to work with 47G, which is a premier aerospace and defense organization in Utah. So I think that is where the needle shifted for this entire delegation. From a very bare minimum expectation, now it's gone up. And now it's more challenging to manage that, but I think the benchmarks are kind of moving. So same thing with World Trade Center, and the way they came across to the Indian diaspora in India, I think they have a certain element of what should I say? I wouldn't say credibility, but a certain element of genuine collaborative effort. It's not on the surface. They're being very open about what they can do, what they can't do, but they're opening up. They're welcoming Indian companies with open arms. I think that genuineness about the entire delegation to really do something meaningful. And Jonathan Friedman made a great statement in every meeting we were. He said, "Look, we're not here for a transaction. We're here to build relationships." And he was not in a hurry to do MOU, he was not in a hurry to sign deals. And because of that posture, which is genuine, I think now everyone wants to work with Utah, everyone wants to work with World Trade Center.
My experience on this trip has been fantastic. I love India. I've been to India 40 times, and I have always found a great connection with the people here. There's a good trust factor. It's a creative culture, beautiful country, beautiful landscapes. It's always, and the food is wonderful. It's always a pleasure to come to India. I feel like there's real fertile ground here in India for business. In Utah, we care a lot about relationships. We care that it's a win-win scenario. We work for mutual prosperity, and this trip has not let us down at all. It's been very positive. We've had wonderful meetings here while we've been in India. We met with the U.S. Ambassador to India, Eric Garcetti, who is a fantastic patriot of the United States and doing a wonderful job here. We met with the Deputy Minister of External Affairs, as well as the Minister of Education. And just yesterday we were with the Minister of IT in Telangana. Wonderful meetings. The associations that we've met with have been fantastic. Real counterparts to Utah companies, to Utah entrepreneurs that can be very fruitful. So Utah thinks globally. We speak over 130 languages in our state. We have young people that go all over the world and live in a different country for a year and a half to 2 years as part of a missionary service for the predominant religion in Utah, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And what happens is that they go, I lived in Ukraine, for example. I served a mission in Ukraine. And when you go and you live and you immerse yourself in a culture, you fall in love with the people, the landscapes, the food, all the things that we're talking about. And then you naturally think of business ideas. that you could bring, that you could be, a net positive to another culture and another country. So I have found that this spirit here in India is very welcoming. It's been very positive. I think that counterparts here are very interested in the same things we are, in creating relationships that are long-lasting. We're just not interested in a one-time, sale or something, one-time production, or no, that just wastes everyone's time. What we're interested in is long-term relationships that can be really fruitful.
It's been great. This is my second time back to India.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I was here in 2018, so it's been about 6 years. Had a great experience then, and I've appreciated that this trip has allowed me to see more of the country, understand more of the priorities, and even the cultural differences between the places that I was able to visit so far. I'm reassured and motivated by the growth and the outstanding economic performance of the countries, and I'm inspired by the entrepreneurs. I'm always inspired by entrepreneurs. I'm especially inspired that so many Indians are not only just changing the country, but changing the world through big ideas. I learned on this trip that the Department of Defense here, the ministry, didn't even allow private markets to participate in defense until just about 20 years ago. So that says a lot about India's priorities, its capabilities, and the direction it's headed. So it's been a great trip, and appreciate you and the team for hosting us today.
Thank you. Okay, you talked about Indians making a difference in the world. Do you have any particular name or person you do look up to?
I think Modi's a very big celebrity in the United States. I think I heard recently that he had visited like 20 or 22 states.
Yes.
And so he's seen a lot of the country. We appreciate that. And look, the United States loves India. We see it as a rising star, and it is. 7% year-over-year economic growth is incredible. Certainly outperforming many developed nations. But we're all really inspired by the growth, the direction, and the vision. I mean, technology, engineering capabilities, IT, all of that is being developed here, and it's helping other markets around the world develop as a result. Today we heard from a company that transacts about $23 billion in revenue, so a very sizable company, participating with on contracts with the U.S. Navy, and that's great. And again, only 20-25 years of experience in private markets participating in defense, so it says a lot about the potential of the country itself.
Well, it's my first time to be in India. I've read about and know about India and how wonderful a country it is, but I've never been here. You have beautiful landscape, wonderful people, and so friendly, and beautiful buildings. The Taj Mahal comes to mind. So it's been really a great experience for me to see what I've read about and actually be here.
That's good. So have you picked up on the language or something of your choice, cuisine or something? Have you had any other cuisines yet?
I'm not really good at the language. I haven't had enough time with English.
Okay.
But I've had a lot of people that help us, tour guides, people. A friend of ours that lives here, Michael Gunnell, has been very helpful in driving us around and introducing us to people and places. So we've had really a very convenient stay because of the help of other people.
The trip overall has been really fantastic at so many levels. The quality of the people that we've met day after day. We've met leaders in the government, leaders in business. I was just reflecting that if we would have organized this on our own from abroad, we may have gotten a handful of those meetings if we had worked really hard. But we've had those types of meetings day after day after day. In terms of the people that we've met, I think they've all been warm and friendly. Didn't expect anything less. I've had great relations with Indians for most of my career. I think we say that every country we visit, they treat us warm and friendly, but there's something special about the relation with Indians the humility, the earnestness, the integrity. I think it's really special. And in terms of the business output, I have 40, 50 follow-ups. Creates a little stress, and I won't get to them all on a timely basis, but no, highly productive. Just as one example today, I had brought a company with me. I had introduced that company to an accountant who I happen to know from my network over the years. That company is now probably going to do business with that accountant here in India, in Hyderabad. But then just as I was talking to that U.S. company here at the event, I realized that I had met a metal producer, a metallurgical company here who I knew. And so I introduced him to him because when he comes here, he's going to have to buy metal. And so it was just like 1, 2, 3, just great to be able to connect so many people in person here at the event, and couldn't be more happy. So when I think about what I've learned about Indian culture, I don't think I've have seen a group of people work so hard. Everybody I've engaged with in the planning have worked very hard. In the day-to-day of our program, have been working extremely hard, and just in terms of the descriptions of what everyone's doing here in India, it seems like it's just like someone's lit a fuse, and the country and the population, they're all highly engaged, highly motivated, and it shows in the work ethic that I'm seeing.
I think two things really have to be looked at. Undoubtedly, in the larger geostrategic plane, our relationship with the United States of America are on the right land. There is growing confidence, there is growing trust, and undoubtedly a large amount of collaboration. And today when I look at it with the China, 1+1 really, not without China, but with China, whatever else the people are looking for diversification, I think India is a great destination. We resonate correctly. Politically, there's a great equation. And I think getting a delegation of a state to come and engage with industry here at different levels for the last 6-7 days itself speaks volumes of how this whole thing is progressing. And I think maybe today would be a culmination of the visit that they've had, because Bangalore speaks of two levels. If you're looking at the MSMEs, it really has been an incubator. If you're looking at high tech, people looking at in the tech space, looking at AI today, generative AI, well, this is the place. You don't have to go too far. Maybe Hyderabad, but otherwise you'll come to the right stop. And I think with Utah's looking at the aerospace defense industry, with large companies like Tata and L&T and the mid-level companies, Centrum Electronics, you've got many industries, we're all in this space today, defense. Great opportunity for people to identify opportunities, link up. And as I said, I'm a good army guy. Nothing works like having a one-on-one contact with people. So a physical meeting develops relationships, and those relationships are what will propel this whole story forward. I think two great things came out. When I look at it, there's a company called 47G, whatever they talked about. The link between the government, the regulatory authorities and the industry is willing to handhold people who are looking at opportunities there. And similarly, they are going to sort of reach out to us here and tell us companies in specific areas and domains who are looking for collaboration here, or wanting to develop a footprint into India. Great system. I mean, if you've got at least two willing agencies who can support each other, and I think the response that we got was extremely overwhelming and extremely warm to see the kind of interest. And as I said, brain power was never a problem as far as Bangalore is concerned. Yes. So people are into great niche areas, emerging technologies, areas which are critical both for defense and not only have an offshoot into dual-use technologies. And that is where the future lies for them. Because defense space is always constrained and takes time to mature. But in the meantime, to keep the gravy train and your morale up, you need to have a dual-use technology. So the smaller new technologies that can be utilized in either space, and that's where the strength of this whole begins. I think great speakers, great event, and I wish this whole project fast forward ahead. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm a bit ambitious, and I'm hoping I won't be wrong, because my past expectations did not prove me wrong related to other things. Utah is emerging as a viable alternative to Silicon Valley. It's a small state compared to California. It's like comparing apples and oranges. At the same time, there is certain degree of momentum in Utah, which is already a leading state in economy, in the economic growth in US, and they have many firsts, like you saw in the presentation today. The first in COVID management capability, the first in economic development momentum, first in several things, the fourth in aerospace and defense capability, etc. Given their cautious optimism and systematic pursuit of growth, I think it'll be terrific. They already moved from being a small state to being a medium state, and not many knew that. And so from a medium state to be a bigger state, I won't rule out the possibility. But I think in 10 to 15 years, almost everybody abroad will be trying to get a piece of Utah. So we want to be there before it is too late, which is why I'm saying all Indian companies look at Utah. It's a great opportunity, right time, right place, and there's a lot of value mutually.
Well, I would say that Utah has been ranked the #1 state in the nation in the United States. I mean, it's really significant, and it's also the #1 state in which to start and grow a business. We have very favorable tax laws and regulations that allow for companies to grow naturally without overburdening them. And so we're a natural partner for any organization that's interested in growing in the United States. Or we intend to bring our Utah companies here to India. So I'd love to we're trying to create a corridor, a trade corridor that goes both directions. If in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, we continue to build on this momentum and grow our relations together. You know, when companies are intertwined, when they work together, when they try to find commonalities, it's better for our national security, it's better for business, and it's better for relationships. And so that's what we try to do from Utah. We try to find partners that are looking to be innovative and collaborative. We want to disrupt industries. We want to be at the forefront of technology. We're actually the fastest growing tech sector in the United States is in Utah. And so we think big. We're a medium-sized state, but we think big. And so over the next 5-10 years, that's our goal. Our goal is to really build strong ties, build great business, and make sure that India knows who Utah is, and Utah knows who India is.
You know, Utah was built on aerospace and defense going back to 1940, and it has been a blessing to our economy when you have so many entrepreneurs willing to take risks that pay off, and then are backed by government contracts. They become very sticky and sustainable. In a very real way, India's segment of the economy is doing this as well. I think I recently read that the Department of Defense in the U.S. and the Ministry of Defense here hope to increase the amount of defense trade by 5 times over the next about 6 or 7 years, which really is a signal to the rest of the world that this is a collaboration that makes sense. In fact, you're starting to see more engagement from Japan, Australia, India, and the U.S., and they call that the Quad. And the Quad is committed to bilateral success or economic development and certainly national security. And so I think to your question, I think the engagement is going to be great and even accelerated over the next 15 years because of what's happening nationally.
Well, there's a lot of challenges around the world. We know that. And it should cause us all concern. I look at India and see a bright future. They've got good leadership, they've got great people. And I think we have opportunities to do things that have never been done before economically with international trade and exchange of gifts and ideas. I think there's really a bright future. So for me, I'm very optimistic about the future of India. And I'm hopeful that things will continue to improve as that. I like the trend lines. You're trending upward, more economic opportunity, better quality of life. You have a challenge where you have so many people, 1.4 plus billion. In America, we only have about 340 million. So you have a billion more people than we do. So that brings some unique challenges that you face. But with good leadership, the democracy you have, I think the future is going to be brighter and brighter and brighter as you go forward. Well, let me just say to the people of India, Namaste. It's wonderful to be here. We want to be a part of your future, and we'd like you to be a part of our future. Working together, we will have wonderful outcomes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I've shared a few comments about how pleased I am with the trip, and of course, I'm grateful to the organizers and other stakeholders in the work. And I hope, I believe that the efforts that both sides put into this trip will pay off. I've throughout my career, I've been an entrepreneur, and I've often found myself having an idea or trying to develop a business too early. And timing is everything.
Yes.
And I've had that same thought about India. I personally have been working in India and seeing opportunity here for literally 24, 25 years. And so when I think about trying to help build a corridor, a trade and investment corridor between Utah and India, at times there's a little voice that says, it's a little late, it's a little late. We hear about all these other states who are active in India. I think, we're a little late. But I don't think that's the case. I think we probably have come at exactly the right time. I sense that momentum's gathering here in India. And it's not just that your best days are ahead of you, but some of the greatest opportunities for growth are still ahead of you. And I've heard other people say, no, David, don't worry. You're definitely not too late. This is exactly the right time to be engaging. And so, again, I'm hopeful that, I believe that the efforts to build this event will pay off in the future in more partnership meaningful partnership between Utah and India.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, great.
I think today when you look at the focus in India on Atmanirbharta and this positive list which the Prime Minister has been taking out, the PLIs that they've been giving in sister industries today, so many vertical, I think maybe 15 or 16 areas which have been identified, subsectors. I think India is ready to take it ahead. There's political stability. There would be a continuation of the thought process, the current political process as it stands today. We hope to have the same government, maybe with different faces, but with the same government, which will continue the same line of thought. So this last 10 years and maybe another 5 years will actually be critical as far as India is concerned. People are, I would say, are enthusiastic of the future. And we've got a young generation and fertile mind, great opportunity. So anybody who doesn't bite the bullet now, then he's going to be cursing himself a few years down the line. So better take full hands-on grip, be an entrepreneur, and grow your own space. And that's where the future will be. These 9-to-5 jobs will be history. I mean, you might have a few governmental jobs, but that also may transit into a different realm. Maybe not in the next 10 years or 15 years, but yes, if you look at the younger generation who's there, who's looking at 50, at the age that I am now today, say, post my major career in the armed forces, yeah, you would suddenly find the space would be very different. So you better be prepared.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You.
Lovely.